Hiya, welcome to My Compound Life. This is a channel where we build assets, we build habits, and we build freedom. That will be financial freedom and time freedom for all of us. Okay, so in this episode, I understand, I'm driving. Every time when I drive, it's all about Bitcoin. Okay, but this episode is less about Bitcoin, but I just want to make a video for small content creator, someone like myself that are, just beginning with the YouTube journey. Okay, because where's that? Why is it beeping? Okay, never mind. So yes, if you are a small content creator like myself, where I don't really have a lot of subscribers either, I'm only on 22nd subscriber count, you need to watch this, right? Because there will definitely be some exciting tips and tricks, specifically for small content creator, right? So as a recap, I'm a small video content creator on YouTube that I talk about in my channel, My Compound Life, where I talk about assets, what kind of assets I bought that gotten me to, financial freedom. And at the same time, I talk about different habits that I've got. And of course, one important habit, ever since I'm kind of retired slightly earlier, so I'm in my mid-40s, so I've retired slightly earlier and I've got not much to do, right? And one thing for sure that I love talking about is how to better manage personal finance, and specifically on the topic of Bitcoin, right? So in the end, I've decided to create a channel. But of course, creating a YouTube channel out from nothing does require time, right? And it also does require a lot of commitment, which is something I've definitely got, right? So that's why I've been creating this YouTube channel since earlier this year, around April, May time. But I think one thing led to another. After my first one or two videos, because I make it so much effort to create the video, like setting up the camera, setting up this, setting up that, doing the lighting, setting up the microphone, etc., right? In the end, I just felt maybe I'll just create one video a week or one video every 2 weeks, right? So if you're a small content creator, I think that's a very, very good initiative to do that. But I think in order for you to get the ball rolling, in order for you to get into the content creation side, right, I think you might need to push yourself a little bit and force yourself to create one video per day. Okay, so that's why for me, one video per day means, because the fact that I do a lot of research on my personal investment, I look it up on the latest news on a daily basis. Hence, I create one Bitcoin video. I call it Bitcoin Daily now, essentially to cover the essentials, to let you guys know, what's happening with Bitcoin on a daily basis, right? Talk about price action, talk about certain anticipation, talk about certain macros that can potentially affect the price action yesterday or today or eventually, for the rest of the week, right? So that's a small niche area that I covered. Ever since I've started doing that, that was sometime in late September, I believe. So feel free to watch back a lot of my other video. I think I've kind of gone into daily content creation late September or early-ish October. I think more of late September. But anyway, I kind of felt the algorithm starts to pick up my content more often, I'm getting more views, I'm getting more followers, subscribers, although I'm only on 22nd followers or subscribers, right? So if you haven't already done so, please hit the like, hit subscribe. I really appreciate if you can become my 23rd to 25th subscribers, and just leave a comment too and let me know who you are. So ever since I've done daily content creation, I felt the algorithm starts to recognize my content more, and eventually resulting more of my content getting more views. So it's kind of like a halo effect, right? If algorithm starts to show preference, and they also understood that, you know, I'm a content creator specifically that talks about Bitcoin. So that's why, you know, if you look through the YouTube Studio app, either on your Mac or on your device or on your app, you can start to see more of the relevant keywords that people search about Bitcoin. Your videos started to appear more often. So that's why, you know, you get more views, you get more traffic onto your content and so forth, right? So one key important lesson that I've learned, right? If you want to start off with your content creation journey, don't procrastinate, number one, right? And don't mind too much about the video editing side of it, right? Because initially when I first started, I pay a lot of attention into video editing, right? And I never even make content, but I started to edit video, learn how to edit video first, right? So that's not the right thing to do. You know, just focus on the content and start filming, right? Just film whatever and get into the habit of creating at least one video per day, right? Understand it's not, you know, it might not be for everyone. You might not have that much of a content to talk about. So that's why I'm kind of like diversify a little bit too in my channel. You know, I obviously talk about assets, investment, personal finance, and so forth. But another passion is essentially to start this, you know, YouTube channel off, right? So that's why I also started to vlog my journey, like what I've experienced, and start to document them, and hopefully can help either myself to grow faster and better and more precise in terms of what I do, so that I can get more results from, you know, less or minimal efforts, and at the same time, you know, bringing you quality content. So if you are starting the journey content creation like myself on YouTube, I think, you know, don't procrastinate, start filming, you know, start uploading, and get into the habit of doing so, right? And in My Compound Life, we talk so much about habit, and one of the key habit of YouTube that I found was you just have to keep on creating, right? And I somehow felt, you know, if I can start to create after 10, 20, 30, 40, 50s video, my content will definitely improve. A lot of things will definitely improve. The process will be improved and so forth, right? So don't procrastinate, start filming, start uploading. And one thing that I've encountered was I've started tweaking like the thumbnails. So I use Canva to help me to tweak the thumbnails and so forth. So I think tweaking thumbnails, having like important call to action or headlines on the video definitely help, right? So you can start to play with that a little bit. And of course, me being from a marketing and media background, I used to run search campaigns on Google Ads. So I kind of also did some quick keyword research specifically on hot topics that people type in that are relevant to Bitcoin, right? So I started to incorporate many of that into the title, into the description, and even in the keyword suggestion when I'm kind of uploading my content, right? So I think that definitely helped, because Number one, after I've uploaded my content, I think take note of this, very important. Don't go and view your own content and try to think of that as a signal to let search engine knows that this is a new content, right? You want to do this as organic as possible and not apply any external influence on it, right? And you just need to wait, right? So when I first started my journey, my video views are like 1 view, 3 views for one video, right? And it's kind of like a 15 minutes content. Just, I know, very, very disappointing. No one views it, right? But you just need to continue to upload on a daily basis so that the algorithm can start to identify people that are like-minded or people that are more in tune with your content, and let them bring in the right relevant traffic, right? So don't try to view your own content, which I did in my first couple of videos. That was quite disappointing. But let the algorithm find the relevant traffic, right? Once it's able to identify the audience behind your video, it will help to bring in more audiences. Okay, so make sure you do that, right? And don't heavily go out and promote your video if you don't have much views, like 1, 2, 3 views. That's fine, right? Everyone has to start from somewhere, right? It's not magically like TikTok. Once you uploaded a video, you get tens, thousands, or millions of views, right? So I'm not into creating viral video, right? I just want to talk about stuff that I'm passionate about. So that's why I continue to remain on the YouTube platform, and I do have appreciation of the algorithm able to pick up the right and relevant audiences and bring them into my content. So yeah, I think have some faith in terms of the YouTube algorithm, and don't heavily promote your video by sending it to your mom, dad, sisters, uncles, aunts, your work colleagues, your neighbors, etc., because very likely these individuals are not the right audience for your content, right? And then if you start to send all of this unrelevant traffic into your content, it's gonna signal to YouTube algorithm like, you know what, this content is hard to gauge or hard to associate with the right audience. Because imagine your mom and dad starts to watch it, and your uncle and aunt, maybe, yes, that's a kind of cluster of individual, but your work colleagues, that are relevant to IT, right? Different age group, your neighbors, they are in completely different sectors, right? And they might give you a like or something, but it's not helping the algorithm to recognize who your true audiences are, right? So definitely do not start to think about promoting it. And another way that for me to promote it, so initially I promote some of my video on my X channel, which, by the way, I'm on X too. So if you like my content, you can follow me, hit subscribe, or even follow me on X. X, my handle will be MyCompoundLife. Okay, so interact with me on X too. So initially I started to submit that on X every time I posted video. So I do now, I still do, but I wait for at least a few days later, then I put it onto X. Because it does seem to me, yes, you might have more followers on X, but it does seem a lot of the followers are bots and robots, right? And that will also be non-relevant, right? So have a little bit of faith on YouTube's algorithm and do so that way. Yeah, I think these are a few things that I've picked up recently. Keep post on a daily basis, have faith on the algorithm, but spend time doing your thumbnails. I think that definitely helps. And then do a little bit of keyword research, use some of Google's tool to try and map out what people might be typing in that they might want to stumble upon your YouTube content too, right? So that can definitely help in terms of ranking your video higher. apart from that, I think, just keep on posting, and that's the best way to move forward. I'm still trying to grow. I'm only on 22nd subscriber count. If you like my content, please hit the like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.